Let's give a tax a call. Tax, buddy, how's it going? Hello.
No. Okay. Hi.
Hey, is this still a good time? You need a couple of minutes?
No, I'm fine.
Cool, man. We're live on Twitch, so
Yeah.
hope that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good stuff. So, you sound a bit out of sorts. What's going on?
Oh no, I'm just tired. That's it. It's been a long day.
Tired of work? Tired of Among Us? Tired of life?
Oh no, it's just been a long work day, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do for work, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, I mean, I work and I'm a student as well, so it's
Cool. Like
today I had a half shift, so.
you do like sort of retail work, or?
Uh, yeah, I work at like this little store that I mean, you obviously don't know since you don't have it over there, but it's so I go like half day of like studies and then the other half is like work, so I can like do my
And
stuff.
when you say over there, are you assuming I'm in a different country again?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the States, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. I remember now. You're in a different location. I remember now,
yeah,
based on your time zone and everything. Cool, man. But
yes.
yeah, aside from being tired of work, what's your like general, your aspects these days? How is your affects,
Uh,
your mood, your overall sentiment?
oh, well, I mean, I people could agree that I've always been a very, I don't know, quiet person. I don't think I ever talk about this at all.
Yeah.
And it's been honestly it's been fine. Things have been going around a little bit and I'm trying to get things together that also connects a bit to Among Us. But I feel like apart from that, I've been doing great. It's just about holding the things that are
Cool.
in my life right now. Just trying to hold them together.
Yeah, and I mean, like, to use an analogy, in some sense, you were sort of uh, framed or seen walking away from a body or something, right? I don't know if you want to go into any of that or like just like put all that
Well,
to the side.
I'd be down to reach some aspects of it, but I don't think I want to talk too much about it.
Yeah,
There's
no
like,
worries. I mean, we can totally like gloss over that and move on.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, what would you like to get out of today?
Well, I was thinking more about an aspect of importance of certain people in the rank community. I
Oh,
think,
really? This sounds like a
yeah.
tier list.
No, I'm talking more of like people who I feel are like a bit of a supporter. Like
Cool.
without them, the community wouldn't be the same. I feel.
Hey, shout out time. Let's go.
Yeah.
So who
I
would you like to
I
shout out?
wanna. Yeah, I want to start with that because I feel like during the course of the years, the 2 years almost direct Among Us that I've been in, I've met a lot of people. That's
Totally.
probably
Yep.
yeah, and some of them, they come and go, it's whatever, but some others really stick with you. Good or bad reasons, I don't really want to go into that, but I feel like right now you have quite some people that I would dare to say that they are key key elements to the community.
Totally.
Uh, yeah, I would like to probably say a few names, which would be Drooler, that's one, Kate,
Yeah. Yep.
Ox.
Cool.
I feel like those sort of people. I mean, obviously you're the more like mediatic
Oh, thank you.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they hold rank together, but you're trying to like push it a little bit further. I feel like.
So you're looking at Drula, Kate, Ox, and Bricknick as the clears for this round, and yeah, like,
Yeah.
did you like stack with Drula and Kate and Ox? Like, tell me more about the clears.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like during the games you can be someone. I don't really mind. You can be whoever you want in the games. I don't really care. It's more about the fact of how you manage with the community outside of it.
Right.
It's like
It's like the
for me
metagaming. Yeah.
yeah, it's like for me personally, I've always been a person that had a lot of engagement with the community.
Mhm.
Maybe yeah, just for the reasons that I had, and it's especially I feel like some people don't really take at all into that. It's like they see that ranked has cash prizes, so they just go on their way. They play their games, get the prizes, and they're gone, and they just
And they
don't do
dip.
anything. Yeah, that's it. It's like, I mean, I get that. I really get it. Yes, because
Yeah,
you know,
totally. We've all been
but
there.
but I feel like I've never been, despite all my years of being in different communities of gaming, I've never been in this position where
Uh,
people like know who I am.
yeah, you are a genuine pillar of the community, Mr. Taxation.
Yeah, and like even it doesn't matter like how people might think about you because you can't control that at all. It is more about the fact that like when you are in that position, you at least I find myself a little bit inspired.
Definitely, man.
Uh,
This is the
by
renaissance of Among Us.
yeah, and it's like um you know being one of the few people who has uploaded content of ranked, I feel like being on that aspect of things, trying to like propel something, trying to propel a community upwards with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that's kind of like the point I want to
I
I
love
want to make.
that framing, and I don't know if that was a coincidence, but the background that I chose for our interview is going to really apply to what you're saying. Because it's a depiction of the future where everything is flying in the sky, like propelling upwards.
Yeah, I see that. That is crazy coincidence,
Yeah.
more of that I want to say is like the mods they help it hold together, but the people who make it stand for long is something different.
Yeah. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I feel like I some people don't get enough credit for this, and I feel like they work really hard for because you know working with a community is never easy.
Yeah.
You can never it doesn't matter what community you're working with. It could be like a little kids show community. It doesn't matter. You're still you cannot please everybody.
Man, can you
And
imagine?
yeah,
Like,
no,
yeah.
it's really hard, and so like the decisions people have to make when it comes to that, I feel like they're really hard to do.
Yep.
And I really want to thank most of the people who are up on the stands with that, because especially when it comes to a situation where you're holding a community by like little wires, so it's just like if something goes terribly wrong, then they mile leave, which
Yeah.
is yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I did my wires in electrical and then upper decontamination and then bathroom. I don't know about you, man.
Dude, you
Dad
know,
jokes galore.
yes, it's just like oh my god, but you know, I really wanted to talk about something like this because I feel like people can talk about the game all they want.
Yeah.
People can talk about oh like this and that, but it doesn't matter how much you talk about a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't find something in it, you will quit playing it.
Yes,
And
that's true.
like
You'll
it
eventually
happens
lose
with
interest.
yeah, totally. And it's like it's part of our nature. It's fine, which is exactly why being somebody who keeps a community alive is really hard because you know being part of a team who's supposed to keep something going is basically forcing you
Yeah.
to make sure everybody is somewhat happy with what you're doing.
Right. I mean, you have to, you can't please everyone all of the time, but you
Yeah,
can
no, not at
aim
all.
to please most of the people most of the time. Also, I just want
Yeah.
to point out a very cool comment from Yol in the chat. Quote, Tax is holding the two strings of Among Us together. Shout out to Tax. Let's go.
Yo, dude, you know, I don't like whenever I used to upload videos. I feel like people would be like, I remember was it XPC or was it GC Plays? He would always put on the Discord that I would put the link in. He'd be so sarcastic and be like, "Oh my god, guys, a new tax video,"
Yeah.
and it was sarcastic because I knew it was,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it's true. I mean, I get the same sort of troll, fake pseudo support. You know, it's like,
yeah,
it's funny because
and
it's an interesting blend of like gently ribbing you while at the same time it still promotes your content.
yeah, yeah. But to me, that didn't really matter. Didn't
Yeah.
matter that he was being sarcastic because I
Right.
knew he was noticing it,
Yes.
and
Exactly. It's like the Jack Sparrow of engaging with the community. It's like
yeah,
I'm the most infamous parrot you've ever heard of.
yeah,
Well, who are you? Well, you have heard of me. You know, it's like
yeah, exactly.
all
It's just
publicity is good publicity for an entertainer.
yes, that is 100% true. It is
Mm.
I feel like most of the time you well, me myself, I developed some sort of responsibility
Mm-hmm.
back when I rejoined because I
Yep.
felt like I was looking at a mess. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Like I joined back and I see you trying to pull things, and I'm like, okay, this is good, but I'm like, but like pulling a whole community, like he needs
Definitely,
other
man.
people, and that's when you started doing the casting, and then you started getting a clear view of the people who would want to help you.
Yes, and man, I
And
just want to thank you again. Like, thank you so much for bringing home the bacon on the casting. Like, that call, that energy, that like 10 hours of work that we, donated together made me feel like we were just such a strong team and definitely
yeah,
couldn't have done it without you. Like, that was really, really successful and I'd love to do it again.
yeah, me too. I feel like it's more. I feel whenever that was done and whenever I had to go, I felt a little bit like, damn, I wish I was there for longer because I was genuinely enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. We were
I
vibing. That was a
yeah,
fun, like, energy.
I was like looking at the people interact in chat, like saying, "Oh my god, this person's gonna win." Talking about the point system, whatever they were
Yeah.
saying about the point system doesn't really matter, but they were talking about it.
Right. It was an engaged discussion. Like people
Yeah,
wanted to be there, and we were
me.
like leading that from the front. Like where there was just like a really fun conversation, and
Yeah,
I could have done that all day. Like we literally did do it all day, but
yeah,
I didn't. I
literally.
didn't at all regret a second of it. It was really really engaging.
Yeah, it's like, and I feel like even when you have people talking bad things about something, when they criticize it, is because they care about it.
Exactly. People were very much sort of passionate about the whole tournament, and like
Yeah,
the casting didn't feel half-hearted. Like there was some real analysis and passion coming through.
yeah, and I feel like those type of engagements hold communities together.
Definitely. If
It's
someone else like if clearly cares about it, then it inspires everyone else, right? Like there was
yeah.
inspiration that day, and I think that was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I want to like bring a point to myself in it.
Hmm.
And it's the point of like, well, me always have uploaded videos in a community that's been waiting for someone, for an outsider to, like someone who is bigger
Yes.
to come in. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And I feel like that maybe, even though we're in the curse of that happening, it's like, there is a lot of things going on after that. I feel like if one of the people who are in there becomes that outer person, becomes that big person, then
We're never
it's
gonna forget our roots, man.
yeah, exactly.
We were
I feel
born in
like
the crucible of Ranked Among Us.
yeah, and to be honest, like we were talking about this like a few days. It was like I can't. Whenever I join a normal lobby, I can't stand the way they're talking. I really
Yeah.
miss uh, in the bottom. You miss the comms and ranked Among Us because I don't know what it is. Is you just miss them?
Yeah.
It's different. It's a lot more informative.
Yeah, I get what you're getting at, right? The purity of thought that's coming
Yeah,
through, the level of skill in the choice of information provided, and the efficiency with which a meeting can be conducted is
yeah,
all like basically a religious experience. Like when it's the flow where the crewmates are really gelling with each other, and exactly the information that needs to be discussed comes out, and you can quickly determine who is a crewmate.
yes,
It's a
yes,
beautiful thing. That is a very fun thing to experience. As much
yeah,
as I
and
sort of like meme about our crewmate as a fucking task simulator snore fest, I think when you are when your head's in the game and your other crewmates are competent, it can be a beautiful thing.
yeah, and well, obviously, when you play the game every day for like a few amount of hours, you start to lose that perception,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh, sure.
always
Yeah,
like
you can lose perspective. Definitely. Like it can start becoming a blur.
yeah, and it's like again those things like the tournament engage you back into a sentiment of hype for something that you've been repeatedly doing, and so it
Right.
refreshes the idea. That's exactly why.
And it's also like a new pinnacle of what could be possible, because that will stand out in your memory as like a landmark milestone, as opposed to just yet another Monday or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
it's um yeah, I feel like more of the whole entire point that I wanted to do by starting all this is to like, first of all, suggest, and second of all, say thank you. So first of all, suggest.
Cool.
I would say suggest that if I want to try new things in the sake of coming back with the following.
Great. And do you mean in terms of content creation?
Game wise, not really, because
Hmm.
that would lose the follow base, you know. But it's I feel like I want to explore other things,
So tell me about
and
that.
if
What do you mean by
yeah,
that?
well, I feel like obviously people during the whole course of my videos, it's always been vanilla. I feel like I want to try different things. I
Modded
want to try, yeah, I want to
or
try
roles?
streaming,
Yeah,
trying to reach with some people at least, so I can gain a little bit of traction, so I can
totally.
again pull the community up, all of it together. I feel like it deserves it,
Well,
honestly.
I do have a pointed question for you, Tax.
Yeah.
Are you hungry for some waffles? If you catch my drift.
Yeah. That is the analogy that I would dare to say.
That is
It's
the implication here.
yeah, it is more than that. I feel
Those are
like it's
delicious.
yeah. I feel it's even that's the only window I
Mm,
have.
yeah.
And I feel like obviously I do this for self reasons too, because you always do something for yourself, but I feel like there are aspects that I wouldn't ever let go of the community that I feel have to be shown.
Yeah.
I feel like to a certain extent, people in the rank community, even though in games they manage one way, when they talk like person to person, I feel they have a super strong connection.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I've noticed this between people because so much time communicating with each other, trying to give as much information as they can. They know each other so well already,
Yep.
and I feel like that aspect of this little community with a bit of an edge to it, I really like that. And I feel like during the homework and spoon interview, I said this. I still have hope for the rank community, and I'm pretty sure some people do as well. That's why they haven't quit.
Yeah.
Some yeah, and it's I feel like I said, it is worth showing.
Well,
If some people don't really want to, then I mean that's kind of their deal. But I don't know. I feel like that's sort of my sentiment. I
well,
don't know
as
what you
long
might
as
think
we
about it.
have good people, we'll always have hope. Hope springs eternal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's but I really wanted to like spread out that type of message right now. That I feel like it's well, that's first of all the proposal, yeah, which is like I want to maybe do something. If nothing happens, then I mean, at least you tried. It's like you cannot
Yeah.
say you
Absolutely. I mean,
cannot.
you miss every
Yeah,
shot that you don't even take, right?
exactly.
And
Yes,
I
that's exactly
love
the
that
point.
you have this optimism. I was a bit worried, when the call started, you sounded a bit down, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go into a dark place. But
No,
man, you are bringing the positive vibes here in a big way. I love
yeah,
this.
it's more because I feel like I have things to owe to the community. You know, like people say that like I've done things, and yes, but I feel like during the pandemic when that started and Among Us kind of blew up, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was I've had issues, and some homework knows about that. Homework said it in the interview as well, which um there was a time where I was being super pessimistic, and I was like, ranked as dead, fuck everybody, like my bad, I can't say that. It was like all that. It was like I was being pessimistic about it,
Right,
and it
right.
was and it was because back in those times, things weren't really going the way I would want them to. I don't want to go into detail about it, but it's more than that, yeah.
Right.
And it's I feel like bringing myself with a community of people who are like me, because I'm a
Yeah.
person that likes to talk a lot.
Right.
I
And I
like
mean, like,
talking.
because you went through that low period, you know, the highs are going to be so much higher, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
that's that's true. Yeah,
the darkest hour really was before the dawn. Like, look at how bright the light of the community is shining now, and you are part of that.
yeah, yeah. It's so basically like bringing myself with this community of people who, you know, are are like a little bit tough, but that makes it fun, and they're also welcoming to the point where they will, in their way, make you feel like you're in it.
Yeah.
It's I feel like I feel it really helped a little bit. And in that case, I really want to say thanks to a few people, which Drooler is one of them already, but I feel like Jay is also another one of them.
Nice. Good call
Jay,
out.
yeah, Jay, he's somebody who I respect a lot actually. And that's something you don't usually get in Discord members.
Yeah.
um, I would also say Aspect. He is even though he has his way of expressing things, I feel like he's a good dude. He
He's a
is
good
a
dude.
good guy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Abdu, Abdu,
Yes.
yeah. How about the Abdu? Yeah, I feel like Abdu is also somebody who I
He catches so much hate just because he's
yeah,
passionate, and I really want to push back on like people sort of dissing Abdu. I mean,
yeah.
he's very passionate about playing imposter, and I think it's so sad that he didn't get imposter during the tournament. Like, of
I
anyone
was
who could get robbed of the imposter game, like Abdu, I feel the saddest about because he just loves imposter,
yeah,
and I see a lot of myself in him. Like, I also have this fascination with playing the difficult role in the game and like trying to get cool kills or get cleared and so on. Like, that to me is the pinnacle of Among Us, is playing imp, not so much the crew.
yeah, and I feel like Abdu. I feel really bad for him because I feel like he you know he is a person that I feel like he has always been understanding of position of people's position. Like, of course, he doesn't. People don't usually show this when they're playing because why would they? It's not like they're talking about things. They're talking about Among Us, And so,
Right.
but I feel like once you get to know people and you try to open your mind to them, you really understand that these are people too, and some of them are actually very very good people.
Definitely.
Um,
I've completely changed my mind about Zag, for example. I used to say Z is for Zag, like Z tier in terms of niceness. But he is very much belongs in the misunderstood category. Like, he has
yeah,
a very like sort of off the cuff brash style, but he's
yeah.
actually like really passionate about growing the community.
Yeah, I feel like other people, once you said about the um, the throwing so much hate and never really understood why.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people else that I have to give is probably Cheese.
Yeah,
Uh,
man, like this guy is actually a cracked imposter, and he's going for ace this season. By the way, shout out to Cheese, like
nice.
shooting high. I love it, and like
Uh,
he does some incredible plays. He screen shared an imp game with me today where he won in one of the high skill lobbies, and he just did everything right. It was beautiful.
Nice. I like to see the things start working out for him because Cheese for me, he has been I wouldn't say Among Us brother. That sounds weird. It's more of the fact that it's more the fact that it's I feel like he is in a bit like me, but in a very different way.
Yeah,
So notice
right,
how
right. Just like
I'm
people compare X, Y, and Z with Swift.
yeah, no, like it's like if it's X from another dimension, something like that.
Yeah. X
Yeah.
walked out of the mirror dimension and became Swift.
Yeah, something like that. I also want to say that X is an uncomprehended genius, and this is no pun intended.
Oh wow,
Uh,
yeah. He is
um,
kind of like The Incredibles? How there's the villain
yeah,
is the guy that's like the anti-hero. Like, he has a
yes,
really good point and he's brilliant. He's just maybe
yeah,
kind of misunderstood, and can be framed as an asshole.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
I props to him. I mean, he knows how to play the game for sure.
totally. Yes, he is.
Yep.
Um, I also, now that I talk about cheese, I also have to say that homework he has been a and Spoon. Even though I never really talked a lot with Spoon, and we never actually like sympathized a lot, I feel like he was a very key element to the moments of AUR all the way when MMR put back into purple. All the way through that tragic story, like he was a very key person, very key element, and I feel like he was always a very community person, despite the fact that he had some interesting things to say in call.
Yeah. He
But
definitely had some colorful language at times, but I mean, good guy at his core.
yeah, yeah,
And like, you never hate to see him in the lobby, or at least I don't. Like,
yeah. No,
he's gonna bring
he
entertainment value. He's fun. He like can play the game well when he tries.
yeah, and I feel like one of the examples of the community that I was talking about like a few minutes ago of like a connection is homework and Spoon.
Yeah.
Like you see, they're
When the
they're
two
they're
of them are
very
together, there's vibes. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like those type of things.
Shout out from Yol saying Spoon is the best imposter to have ever played Among Us. Those are big words, my guy.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
we'll
mean,
have
I
to see how
wouldn't.
Spoon compares to 5 Up. Ooh, the glove has been thrown.
Nah, I feel 5 Up is age is better. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own biased opinion here as well, but
Yeah.
Yol
Nah.
is putting a sponsorship. Are you putting some money behind your words there, Yol? We'll see what happens. But
Oh.
so
Oh.
Tex, you've given 9 clears. This means you must have miscleared an imposter in here.
Oh
Right?
no. I don't want to talk bad about imps,
Oh
dude.
no.
I feel like that's not my place, to be
Actually,
honest.
I would love to drill in and hear your thoughts on Ox, because Ox is going to give an interview, and like specifically, what do you want to hear from Ox in his interview?
Well, I mentioned him at the start of the interview, I'm pretty sure I said.
Yeah.
But I feel like, well, first of all, what I think about him or what I want him to talk
Well,
about.
yeah, yeah. First, you can tell him like why he's clear, like you saw him do some
Yeah.
tasks or something, right? And then secondly, like what questions do you want to ask him in the meeting?
Oh, okay. It's, well, I feel like Ox, and with Odini as well, which Odini left, and some people really didn't like him, but I feel like Odini, he was definitely a person. He was definitely like a brother to me, Odini.
of
And I'm not an Among Us brother, stop.
of all the comments, of all the compliments you could give, he was certainly a person.
Yeah, he was certainly a person. But
Okay.
Odini and Ox were I feel like they represented. I remember this because they won an IMK and MMR, and they're very alike.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like Ox as well. He is a person who I have never seen. I don't know, step off his rails in the sense of like he is being delusional, and I feel like Ox is a very reliable person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the sake that he is unbiased, and he will most likely take decisions based on actual common sense, and he will put the best and the biggest better, like the biggest, like the better choice he will put before anything else because he knows that that's what he has to do. And I feel like he's such a centered person, and I
Yes.
feel like that I gotta give props to him for that because it's hard at
Yes.
times
Right.
to like.
Sometimes you will have to make an unpopular decision, but it's the correct call.
Yeah, it's, and yeah, this is something that I tend to say to people. It's like the right thing doesn't always feel good,
Yep. Yeah, you can
and
do the the easy thing or the right thing.
yeah, yeah, that's a bit of a wink to Dumbledore. But yes, it's
We're hitting all the popular culture references here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like exploring the Harry Potter world for a second. Which Harry Potter character do you see some of the Among Us community members as? So Ox is Dumbledore. What are some other parallels we can draw?
Oh, okay. Ox being Dumbledore is a bit of a stretch. I think. Yeah,
What is he?
no,
Is he
it's
Snape?
probably. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like he has
Okay,
vibes of Snape.
interesting.
Uh, I'm not gonna lie. I feel I don't want to name a Voldemort. I really don't. I want
No,
to
we could
name.
skip the Voldemort, but I mean, like,
Yeah, I know.
there's probably a Hermione out there. Who could that be?
That's Kate. hundred
Kate the
percent.
Hermione,
She's a nerd.
a nerd. All right, but in a
Kate's the
loving way.
same. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yes.
All
No, she
right.
knows I'm joking. She knows I'm joking.
Who
But
who is
it's
Ron Weasley out there?
damn. Okay, that's rough because this is a little bit biased. I don't really like Ron,
Ah,
but I feel without like taking out the things that I don't like about Ron, I think someone like Zordlin would be close.
yeah, I can kind of see it. Can
Yeah,
kind of see it, right? Like hangs out with the main characters.
yeah, yeah. I
gets
actually, yeah,
gets a rep by like being in the right lobbies.
yes. By the way, shout out to Zordlin Yurgi. But
Yes.
yeah, um,
Love it. Love
I would,
the turn this conversation took. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I would say Dumbledore is Jay.
Jay is Dumbledore. Love it.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I just don't know. I feel like Jay holds a special place for me because he's a guy that he's an individual thinker, and I noticed this in the sense of like he's just his own,
Yeah.
and he doesn't really care. It's like you see other players trying to like adapt. You know, I've seen some people go crazy with this whole getting good at Among Us thing, and it's like they even adapt things that they wouldn't do before, like actual behavior things, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit too far, dude. Like I don't know. I feel
Right.
like that's yeah. No, Jay to me, ever since I joined MMR season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I played like 2 games with him, and then I and then I'd stop playing because they were too good for me, so I got scared.
Right,
it
right,
was
right.
it was
So Jay has been a real one from the start. Basically
yeah,
pulled like stand up dude.
yeah. For me, like Jay never changed,
Yeah.
and I don't know, and I'm glad
Never needed to
because
change.
yeah, he never needed to, and I feel like
Yeah.
he's just like Saitama.
Okay. Yeah. Another shout out to
Jay,
Saitama, a winner of our tournament most recently, and
yeah.
also ranked moderator. Thank you for your service, Saitama.
Yeah, Saitama has a bit of a different way of saying things, that's for sure. But I feel like they both have they never needed to change the way they were at all,
Yeah.
because it was just like people really just empathize with people more than others, and that just happens. But they never felt the need to do anything different to what they were, and I really respect that when you
Yeah, I mean, having that self confidence, self assurance, and knowing that your way is enough, right? Like, you don't have
yeah
to completely change who you are just because some people might disagree with it. You know, if you stand by your principles and values and you believe you're adding value, then good. That's what you want. That's what we want, right?
yes um all right, I feel like that is a bit
So,
done.
which Harry Potter character do you see yourself as?
Oh fuck no, I don't know. um damn, that's rough. I don't know. Uh, what was this guy's name? Hold on.
Colin Creevy.
Hell, what the hell? I think
Cedric
somewhat of
Diggory.
a somewhat of a Credence, probably.
Credence. Who's that?
Who was this? Fuck, I forgot this guy's name.
Maybe you could
Um,
describe like what that character does, or I don't know.
the Dumbledore's no fucking what is it? The oh my god, I'm actually so fucking annoying.
Oh, are you
Where
trying to
is this?
pick like Dumbledore's former partner or something? Or
Grindelwald. There you
yeah,
go,
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald.
Okay, yeah, the other wizard that is like
Like
it's
like the
implied that
little
they had a relationship. That's the one.
yeah,
Cool. So
Grindelwald is the.
you're basically like in a bromance with Jay.
I mean, I guess. I mean, no, but Credence is the guy that he's like he's dude, did I just
Grindelwald.
forget his name? Yeah, Grindelwald's student.
I see. Okay, so you are the son of Jay's bromance partner.
Yeah,
Got it.
I
Got it.
guess.
That kind of makes sense. I see that.
You know, I feel like it's more of in a way that Credence is never a character that was really explored.
Yeah,
He was
I honestly couldn't remember him. Like, if you'd give me a trivia question, does that character exist in Harry Potter universe? I'd have been like,
yeah,
sounds
yeah, I
made
know.
up.
Yeah, it was he was in the latest movie though. I'm pretty sure. I haven't
Got
seen it.
it. Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hopping aside from pop culture, which yeah, I mean, it was interesting comparing people to Harry Potter characters, I guess.
Totally.
Yeah, I feel yeah, like now to the last point, like the
Hmm.
second point
Yeah,
after the
you want to
proposal.
ask questions of Ox in the meeting.
Yeah, it was I feel like Ox, he could give you a really really good picture of what moderating a community of that aspect is like, because you see communities that have different aspects. It's like you have Undertale, which is a questionable community. You have you have other games. Like for example, the first community I ever joined officially was like Geometry Dash community, and that was really bad. Like people had their things really really weird, and they were all like very obsessed about the skill and everything, and it was a and I could have never imagined how it would be to moderate like such a thing.
Yeah,
And
totally.
I feel like he could actually guide you a little bit through the struggles, because people are so quick to bash on mods sometimes.
And that's sad, right? Like, I mean, they're already donating their time to making the community better, and then if you just flame them, like, that's a pretty
Yeah, yeah,
thankless job to begin with, and then you just give them hate. Like, what's that
yeah.
about?
It's about the fact that I feel well they are providing a sort of service, I guess,
Yeah.
and so in the point in which someone that has no idea what the struggles of a mod is, they go like, dude, why isn't a mod here already? Like I added them 2 seconds ago, like they should be here,
Yeah,
you
there's a
know?
lot of entitlement when you think about that
Yeah,
attitude. Like, expecting instant service and then being angry at the service staff. It's sort of a pretty bad pattern. And if you bring that into your life with, like, let's say, restaurant waiters or like
yes,
fast food service, if you just like yell at them and like demand instant service and just like criticize and complain only, right? Like, you're not a good person if you do that, right? Like,
yeah, no,
the
not at
real
all.
test of your character is like, how do you treat those who are there to serve you, you know? And like, do you serve others? And how would you want to be treated? You know, like, have some empathy.
Yeah, it's more. I guess it's really hard to understand when you're behind a screen. You know, it's I feel like, well, during the most part of it, it's like people when they are like in real life, they are scared to like do that. But
Yeah,
when
because
they're
there's a little
like,
bit more consequences, whereas people feel
yes,
the internet armor, like you're behind a screen.
yeah,
Let's like go full on rage mode, and especially if you can just like type, you know,
yeah,
like there's very little commitment or like very little skin in the game, and
yeah,
then you feel like emboldened to just troll or be a flamer or whatever.
yeah. It's something that I never actually wanted to call out on people because I feel like that's not gonna do anything. Like, what is it gonna do if somebody named tags on Discord tells you, dude, do not be like so rude to Moss? Like, no,
Well,
that's
I
not.
think it
That's not.
people will listen more to someone they respect. So, oddly enough, if you've been really kind to them and then you give them the critical feedback, they're going to be much more likely to listen compared to if you just only flamed them back and never established any trust. Then they're just going to see you as some, like, uh, enemy or whatever. If they
Yeah,
see you as a friend and then you sort of hold them accountable, it's a very different story. It's the same way that, like, the people who are closest to you can hurt you the most.
oh yeah,
Like, your
that is.
family, if your family is disappointed in you, that's a huge deal. Whereas, like, if a random stranger on the subway or something is like, you're an ugly piece of shit or whatever, you're like, I don't care, I don't know you, right?
Yeah, it's like, who are you to say those things to me? Like, you don't, you
Right,
have
like,
no
you don't know
impact.
me. You don't know me. Right?
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, your question for Ox is basically like, give us the perspective on what it's really like to be in the thick of things with the moderating a community of this scale and doing
yeah,
it effectively.
I just think people need a little bit more of context.
Cool.
Honestly,
I like
I
that.
feel like that is needed sometimes.
Great. Anything
Um,
else? Like, what else?
no, I guess that's kind of like the basic idea. I don't think I have specific questions.
Cool.
I feel like I really, yeah, that's just the idea that I would like him to develop.
Totally. And like, I will absolutely be getting into the moderation stuff with Ox. I'm also applying for moderator, so I pretty much need to understand that anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
that's gonna be a process, yeah.
GG's.
I guess.
But yeah,
Um,
I'm walking up to the medbay scanner. We'll see if I have scan. I haven't even checked the task list.
dude, whenever whenever people talk about Among Us like in real life,
Uh huh.
it doesn't happen a lot. But of course, it doesn't happen a lot because why would you talk about Among Us in real life?
Right, right.
It is more of like whenever people talk about it, it comes back to my mind. Dude, 2 years. That is a lot.
It is a
A lot of
lot
time.
for
Like
like
that is a lot of time.
this particular game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like again going back to the commitment and everything I had with it. I feel like it's it's something that you rarely experience in the personal aspect because like with this internet stuff I never engage too much. It's just like I am outside of the community. I'm always watching, but
Mm-hmm.
back in the day when this game blew up and I saw all these streamers and I was like, dude, this looks cool. I want to do this,
Yeah.
and I hopped in. That plus the community, I feel like it's an experience that you rarely get to actually live. It's more into the
Absolutely.
fact that like you're on board with a bunch of strangers,
Yep.
but they're not strangers at all, are they? I mean, I feel like
Exactly. I mean, like it's much more fun when they are not strangers. Like, of
yeah,
course, like the first few games of Among Us you played, like in the literal public lobbies, like within the game client, you don't get to know those people. Those are just like
I don't know.
names on a screen. And then the next level where you get on a VC with people on Discord and like they're strangers again, but you sort of hear a bit of their personality coming through. Their
Yes.
different accents, their different styles, their jokes and whatnot. And that's fun. And
Yeah.
then maybe you add some of them on Discord and you like play some more games. And then you're like, oh, I feel like I'm sort of understanding the game. And then you go look at ranked. And you're like, wow, other people are really good at this game. Like, how can I
Yeah.
learn? And then, you get more and more sweaty and you realize, oh, there's a lot more to this game than I expected. And like,
Yes.
oh, that thing that was really intimidating, the admin table, you can just use it and it becomes easy after a while. And then
Yeah.
eventually you're throwing if you're not like gathering info and like there's a whole set of expectations about what it means to be even a
Yeah.
half-assed decent crew. And if you're not doing all those things, like people will yell at you. So like
Yes. I
it's
mean,
a forcing function to get really good at the game and then still have fun with the people. I think it's a fun shared experience and then like yeah, you learn a lot about the people you play with.
if I'm going to be honest, back and I will tell you this, I found a ranked because I started a this Discord server, which
Mm-hmm.
was those are what my first videos are about. It's like this little group of people who I gathered. I remember all of them to this day. The only person I have remotely talked to, even if just a few times around the years, it's a Voltic. I don't know if anybody knows him, but
Shout out to
Voltic,
Voltic.
the
Yeah.
Voltic,
You should
he
DM him. Try DMing him. See if he replies. Right? Like, when did you last talk with him?
I don't think I have him in my DMs anymore,
Oh,
but he hopped into the purple VC a bit ago.
oh,
It was like
cool.
what it was like a month ago. I don't know, and then he talked to me, dude. Of course I remember you, hybrid though, but that's hybrid. You were later. Come on, it's Voltic. He was the only person who actually stood for that, and he talked to me. He was like, "Tex, has been a long time," and I'm like, "Yeah, how's it been, dude?" And that is weird
It's
because it's like
really
if
fun seeing the people who you met a long time ago coming back.
yes,
I
it's
love
like
it.
it's like
It's
if you
like
met
seeing someone you
somebody.
met in high school or in like elementary
Yes.
school or whatever coming back. Yeah.
And so after I hop with this group, this guy called Nine in my Discord. He showed me Nutters, and that's when everything started. That's when the
Yeah.
2 years of rank started. But I gotta say that during all that time and during all those people that I've met, like I said, I've met some really good people. I met some people that I really didn't like, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the normal process of life. It's
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
I have to say that this community has something special to it.
It really does. I think you're absolutely dead on the money there. Like, there's a reason we keep coming back, and it's not the
Yeah,
tournament, it's not the money or whatever. It's the people, right?
yeah, yeah. Some people that I during this time, because that I won't, that I will try this different thing. I wouldn't like to lose contact with some people, but I know
Definitely.
that probably
Well,
what's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
like, even if you do end up not speaking with them, just like Voltic, you didn't really speak with for a long time, like, they're always going to have
Yeah.
a place in your heart, in your memories, and maybe in your videos. And, the fact that we've done this
Yes.
interview means, you'll have a permanent record of, like, some of your memories with Voltic. And that means he'll live
Yes.
on, right?
Yeah. He was. I remember he was one of the best imposters on that server.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun to play with him. He actually passed on to play Res a bit with Hammy's crew. I remember
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was on
totally.
that. And to me, again, meeting all these people, meeting all this, apart from the fact that the community is special and the people that are holding it, I also have to say that the average player, the average ranked player, the one that gets on every day, tries to get their rank up, and they are also big responsibles for all this. And obviously, you cannot be famous without an audience.
Right.
You cannot have a game without a player base.
That's true.
And so
The
everybody has a part in all this.
the people are what makes this happen, right? Like,
Yes.
without the players, without the people, none of this is possible.
Yeah, it's more. I think I'm trying to. What I'm really trying to say is, I would love for people to stick to this ranked thing for a while, because
Definitely. Yeah, like don't be disheartened. Even if you're new and people yell at you, like there are people out there that will encourage you gently and
yeah,
give you the coaching that you need to get better. And you can do this, right? Like we all start somewhere. Everyone throws a lot of crew games at some point in their
yes,
like Among Us journey. And all it takes is like just getting enough reps. And you can critically think about like what you did wrong and what you could do better, because everyone did something wrong and everyone can always do a bit better.
yeah,
And it's just it, like pick a few things to work on, get some feedback from people. If you notice someone who played well or someone who has a high MMR or whatever, and if they act kindly, then yeah, just like reach out, and we're more than happy to help, like new people especially. So yeah,
yeah. That is what I really want people to see,
definitely.
because it's different once you join a community than once you're in it. Because once you're in it, you're already used to the flow. It doesn't really hit you, does
Right,
it?
right.
But
You
once
sort of
you're,
you brush off, like it's water off a
yeah,
duck's back once you realize, oh, like this is just how everyone acts. But if
yeah,
you're
no,
not used to it and you like get all this flaming, you're like, am I like just especially bad? Am I worthless as a player? But you're not. You're just new or you're learning, and it's okay. Like we've all
yes.
been there.
And I feel like that was always the purpose of my videos to a
Right.
certain extent. It
Yep.
was, of course, it wasn't about, oh, you're welcomed in a Red community, because I never thought about me extending to this, but it was more about the fact that that I wanted to show people how to play, because I knew that in regards to people watching somebody play, that gives them inspiration to play.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean,
And
like, watching a game is much easier, especially if they're good at the game. Because then you
yeah.
can feel a little bit like you're the player as well. And then there's
Mhm.
no pressure. Like, you don't have to be thinking. You can just watch and sort of like watch the high skill plays happen before you. It's like watching football or something. And then you can
Yes,
like
yes.
armchair quarterbacking, you know? You can
Yeah.
feel a little bit special because you can point out the errors without having to do any of the work yourself.
Yes, it's more than all in all just a massive thank you to every single person in the rank community, except for the people who just come in to say that Among Us is dead. I really despise you guys. Not gonna lie, I really hate those people.
I mean,
Just
there's
come.
always going to be the doomsday prophesizers who say Among Us is dying, ranked is dying. There's no point trying. You'll never
Yeah,
succeed. Like, what is the point of all that messaging?
it
I've
really isn't.
never been convinced that any of that is remotely true. If that was true, you wouldn't need to say it. It would just be obvious. Like you shouldn't need to convince me, right? Like,
Yeah,
who do you think you are? Like trying to posit that as if it's clear as day, and I'm somehow this idiot that hasn't seen the writing on the wall, right? Like,
yeah. It's like
it's disrespectful, honestly. Like,
to
stop saying
the
that stuff.
to the bigger extent, I guess it's more than the fact. Say that these people. I mean, obviously, you can go on your way to say whatever you want. I don't really care,
Sure, but it's like I think
but
actually what they're really conveying is that they're scared.
yeah,
They are afraid that the community is dying, and they are sort of doing a cry for help. Like, oh no, my hobby is going to be taken away from me. Because if they actually didn't care, they wouldn't bother saying it. They'd just like leave quietly.
yeah. Yeah, it's totally about it, and I feel it's more than like if you're really again scared about the community dying. I feel like the best response you could do is to help it.
Definitely.
But I mean, some people just don't. They just don't see it. They're like, "Oh, the
I think,
community is dying. I'm
yeah,
dipping
I
by."
think that like when you're in that state of fear, when you're really worried that the community is dying, and you get overwhelmed by how much work it would be to fix it, and you don't know where to start,
Yeah,
it's easy to just give up. You know, you'd be like, oh, the community's dying. What do I do? Panic, right? And then sort of just get all cynical, like this can't be fixed, and it's like it's all doom and gloom. But even in that darkness, like you can do just a tiny bit, like just play some games. Even
yeah,
if it's just you sitting in the lobby waiting for it to fill, if everyone did that, we wouldn't have a dead community. You know, you can
yeah,
be a lot more powerful than you think by just going and contributing your little piece. It's like the same attitude that I had when I was a kid around like, oh, why should I bother vote? I'm just one amongst hundreds of millions, right? Like, but you are setting an example for everyone around you by your actions. So whatever
Yes.
you do, like, influences the people around you, and you can be part of the community that you want to see.
Yeah, totally. I'm okay. Well, I feel like that kind of wraps a little bit the social aspect. Is there anything else you
Totally.
would like to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, like, having given all these clears, like, I was especially curious about Kate, sort of another
Yeah.
mod. I've heard a little bit of sort of mixed things about her, but I'd love to hear, like, your spin on, like,
Okay. Yeah.
what do you appreciate so much about Kate?
Okay. Well, the thing is, I know how people feel about Kay. They're
Right.
whenever it's rough, because again, mods are always bound to be disliked.
Yeah.
Hence the fact that they are the ones giving infractions.
Mm-hmm.
So they are the face behind the consequence. Yeah.
Right.
And so it's like, damn, fuck this guy. Like he
Right. So
really
people
just,
will resent the cop.
yeah, exactly, and
Right.
not the law. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
it's more. I feel like that's one aspect, but I feel like all in all, again, I feel if there isn't a better way to say things on the internet that isn't directly, then I cannot know what it is,
Right.
in my opinion. And I feel like she's really good at that. I feel
Yeah.
like she is good at just getting the point straight. She's just good at saying the thing that she has to say. She doesn't just usually go around saying things like, "Oh, this and that." No, she just says
Sure.
it.
Doesn't mince
Like,
words. Doesn't pull punches. Tells it how it
yeah,
is. Plain as day.
yeah.
Easy to
And
understand.
she doesn't really extend upon it either, unless she's annoyed at the fact that the person's not taking it the way it should be. So
Right.
like if she goes like, "Oh, B thing happened," she says, "B thing happened with you." That's it. And
Right.
then if the person goes like, "No, this and that," then she will extend upon it. But I feel like
Yeah. So she
initially,
she gives the information. She gives her clears. She doesn't, like, start doing meta sauces and stuff.
yeah, no, she, bro, this fucking these Among Us references are actually like making it so hard for me to do serious things. Whatever. Um,
Love it.
but
Hybrid wants to be a caster. I love it. We should actually have, like, a caster tryouts.
honestly, I
So
feel like
many
that would
people
be
want to be a
fun.
caster. I've had like 8, 9 people ask to be a caster. I think that's really cool. I'd love to see you play some games with us again, Hybrid. And casting is great. You can definitely do that. I think there's games going right now that we could practice casting if you're down. And Combos has been back, by the way, since you mentioned his name.
What?
Yes, Combos has been back, and we literally played a game of Among Us ranked with Combos. It was fun.
Oh,
Just do, like, bang MR and Combos. You can see that he's in there.
damn. All right, well, that's interesting. Commons
Yeah,
is a person. He is
he
an
is a
interesting
person, and there's some things about him that I really, like, enjoy hearing his references to. This person's trolling the video game.
guy.
Like,
Yeah,
he's always
I,
referencing the words video game, right? Like,
I've always said that Combos and Spoon are like they're the same person.
they are brothers. In my eyes, they are brothers.
They cannot be like they're the same person. Like
Playing a
I
game
don't
with
know.
both Combos and Spoon is very confusing, and it's fun.
Yeah, I don't know,
100%.
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That must be some sort of like mystical coincidence, but they have to be the same person. There's
It's
no
the
way.
mirror dimension all over again, man.
Legit.
Yep, yep.
But anyways, honestly, being a caster and all these people wanting to be casters,
Mm-hmm.
it all started when the first casting popped up,
Yeah.
which was the tournament, and that
Yes.
refers back to something that Hybrid said in the chat. He said, that I influenced him back in the day.
That's
You
so
know,
cool. Isn't that amazing that you've influenced someone that way, where you've
yeah,
inspired someone to want to do something just because of the way you did it?
it's hard to picture. It really is
Yeah.
because for me, well, I c- okay, I don't want to sound like dumb, but I feel like I don't really picture myself inspiring people, but having someone saying it to you is like
It's beautiful. I mean, what an incredible achievement, man.
I feel like that is everything.
It's incredibly validating, right?
Yeah.
You have changed the course of someone's life for the better.
Yeah, and I feel like again that is hard to picture for me, but and it's essentially because like I am constantly looking for inspiration to do things.
Yeah, and you didn't expect to be the inspiration for someone else.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
it's like that again, when people say that, it's like that to me is just everything. It's
Yeah.
like understanding that my purpose is setting
Setting
it's
a good
actually
example,
happening.
leading from the
Yeah,
front, man. That's amazing.
it, that is everything you need.
Yeah. I mean, you can always look to that with pride, and it's justified.
Yeah. Um, and and I feel like some other players without uploading content also need to know that they do that daily in the ranked
Definitely Jay,
games.
for example, right? Like,
Yes. Yeah. Talking about Jay again, he's just
yeah,
like you guys do that in the daily. When you teach somebody who is not as good as you something, you're doing it as well.
yeah. I mean, this is the way. Like, positivity is met with more positivity, and it can
Yeah.
be a positive feedback loop, and like helping people grow can be really great if it's done in a respectful and kind way, because you're lifting them up instead of kicking them. Like, you do not want to kick someone when they're down. They've just thrown a crew game. They're at their most vulnerable. What they need in that moment is some care, some empathy. They feel like shit already. Why are you gonna like kick them when they're down? That is not the time. Yes, you lost some imaginary internet points. Whatever. Like, help them become better so that they don't throw in future.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, some few arguments could be made about that, which I had with Tom. I remember in the rank chat,
Mm-hmm.
Tom was talking about it, and well, people have their ways. I guess I
Yeah.
kind of respect it a bit.
Sure. I mean,
It
in some sense, they want you to know how important it is that you threw.
yeah
To
yeah
them, it is a deadly serious matter, and you should feel bad. To me, I
yeah
think that that is a very high price for someone to pay, to have to be made to feel like dog shit just because of a video game. But, you know, if that's how the other person feels, like Tom or whoever wants to flame them, then, you know, that's a choice they're making. And, like, he insists on shitting on people or flaming them. And that's his choice. I think that he'll see how that plays out for him. And if it doesn't ever get held accountable for it, then, you know, that's the community that we've grown to have. I
you
do
know,
think
and
that we could do better.
I don't really think that I should be talking just about Tom because myself included, I have flamed people
We've
as
all done
well.
It's not like anyone is guiltless here, right? Like,
Yeah
it is difficult to avoid being angry with someone who has caused you to lose, right?
yeah
And it it takes quite a bit of maturity to admit that you yourself could have played better, and
yeah
instead of ignoring your own mistakes and just flaming someone else, like, always be inward facing, admit fault in every
yeah
situation. You've done something wrong. Like, you're never going to be walking on water yourself while this other person just completely was the only reason the team lost. And
yeah
instead of kicking them when they're down, right? Like, I still come back to just like give them a hand, right? Or if you really don't want to play with them, that's fine too. But like, set them up with some other people that are at the similar skill level so that they can grow together. You know, if we grew
yeah
the community enough, we could do skill-based rank matching, and then you could
yeah
have a noob lobby, and like, when noobs are playing together, they're all on an equal playing field, and they're not going to kick each other because they all realize they're equally bad. It sucks when you've
yeah
got mixed MMR. Like, when you've got some of the very best players who are forced to play with some of the very worst players, like, no one's happy in that situation.
yeah no. It's like the really good players are like, dude, these guys are gonna throw the game, and then the bad players are like, I can't say anything because
Yeah, no one's happy there because like everyone expects to lose.
yeah, um, yeah. I feel like everything, everything that that people can say about, oh well, I flamed this, I flamed that. Back in the day when people would be like, dude, why are you guys playing so seriously? And I would say like, because it's a ranked aspect of a
Yeah,
game.
that's the point, right? That if you
Yeah,
didn't want to play seriously, you go play casual, right? Like,
yeah,
that's the
exactly.
reason the difference exists.
And I don't really mind somebody flaming and like a normal ranked player. I don't mind it. There's a
Right.
limit,
The
of course,
difference
you
is
know.
the new people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is exactly the point I wanted to make. There was this person whose name will not be mentioned for the sake of their stability in the community,
Mm-hmm.
who who did this. There was a new player, and this person was like, no, this and that. This person is not.
Right.
This person's not going to work in the rank community.
Yeah. So
And
like, passing judgment too soon, that's a bad play.
yeah,
You know,
and
like, give them a chance.
I really just hopped into the chat and I was like, are you serious? Like, this is literally exactly why nobody joins ranked.
Right.
And it is specifically because if you're somebody new, like, of course, if you're hopping into ranked, you should expect to be lost. This is first of all on everything because I feel like this happens for every game. People don't really realize it's like if I'm playing picture casual Fortnite, it's so much different to competitive Fortnite,
Right.
like
Yep.
miles away. Same thing for League of Legends, which I
Yep.
mean, League of Legends
Same
doesn't
thing
actually
for
have like,
Dota 2. Like any game
yeah,
where there's ranked and casual, ranked will be way sweatier.
yeah, and like once you hop in for the first time, you will be lost. Does not matter what you do.
Yep.
It happened to me when I hopped into Nutters back in the day.
Yep.
I got imposter my first game. I got caught at round one. And I was like, "What the fuck? These
Yep.
guys are cheating, though."
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I was, but it really wasn't. I, but I feel like what made me stay is the thing that some people are not willing to give, if that makes sense.
Some people are
Like,
not willing to give. Do you mean give to others or give up on their principles?
to give to others, like whatever made
Right.
me stay, they're not willing to do.
I see. Yeah, it's
And
tough, right? Like it requires you putting others' interests above your own. And that's a
yeah,
tough ask for a lot of people because ranked for a lot of people is a self-interested game of increasing your own MMR. Whereas a
yeah,
different attitude you can take is MMR is just a reflection of where you are, and the rest of it is enjoying the journey. Like, and are you going to enjoy a journey where the culture is just, it never grows, and people leave over time and the community dies? Because the reason the community dies is because the people leave, and you need new
yeah,
people to replace the people who are leaving. And if you just shit on the
obviously,
new people, it's game over. Like,
yeah.
you're throwing the server. There's a meta game here, and you are throwing if you're flaming noobs. It sucks, but that is the reality.
But you know, something that I find curious enough is that apart from the new players, I feel like again, hopping back into the rank community, whenever we did this thing with Mister Pinkman, Mister Five Ups,
Hmm.
uh, people were listening to it, and when the whole thing was done, and I joined Purple, they felt like the way they played was undermined. They felt as if like what they were doing was underappreciated. And when that happened, people were like people were like together in a way. They were like, there's no way this person just said that. And they were all like talking about it and they're like, dude, this and that. And like, you can say whatever. But my point is that whenever the community is attacked, it brings a different scenario. In the sense of like when someone undervalues the community, people are quick to jump as a community for the sake of its own respect.
Hmm.
It's like they value the amount of work that you have to put in.
Yep. So this is the thing, right? Like, you can actually bond a group of people very effectively by having a shared enemy.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like politics a lot to me, but
Uh-huh, it is, right? It's very unifying to have someone that you can all agree you need to prove them wrong, right? Like,
yes, yes, yes. That's actually insanely true.
uh-huh, yep, yep,
And they will like put the interest of the sake above their own. The moment when they start talking about, okay, we need to gather the best people, dude, because
yep,
then like, and then
exactly.
they
Now it
don't they
becomes a
don't
unified goal.
exactly
Yep,
they don't put themselves in the list because they don't think they're the best,
right.
but they are willing to give an offer to the best people who they believe it is.
Exactly,
And
because they realize they need to put the community's best foot forward, not
yeah,
just exploit it for themselves.
and so it's those strong feelings that always arise. It's like this thing like in moments of crisis, panic does nothing.
Yep,
That is essentially what I feel is this. Like they panic, you can use it as a weapon.
yep.
Like in the sense of like when people panic, it brings their true nature.
Hmm.
And that could be utilized in the ways for you to test how unified your community is.
Yep, that's right.
And
Yeah, and you
like I
can,
said,
when it's like a wartime, are they
yeah,
gonna rally? Are they gonna like scatter? You know, are you gonna have defectors or are you gonna have people who sort of hold their ground?
yeah. So like, all in all, I feel like the point of this whole thing is to like, despite some people being like, "Dude, ranked sucks, dude. I want to leave this." Like, I want people to like think a little bit and to see all these different scenarios, all these different occasions, and to
Yeah,
actually be proud,
I am proud of the ranked community.
be
You know,
proud of where you stand. You
the
know,
fact
because
that you asked it that way, I think I can look at the community and be like, this is a community I can be proud of. I think
yeah,
that's awesome, right? Like, at some stage, I might have pointed with doom and gloom about like, oh, the toxicity, Or like some people
Yeah.
like it's dying or whatever, but there's a lot of really great players in here who are also good people. And that to me
Yes.
is just a magical thing.
Yeah. It's what was I gonna say? It was it's about oh, I forgot. Damn. Whatever. But
We're
yeah, no,
vibing.
yeah, dude. I got a VOD review. Hold on a second. But not. It's more of the fact that again feeling. Oh yeah, now I remember. It's like people might be like caught up in like the repetitiveness of the community, but then like once you look from the outsiders, there are few communities that are small like this but unified like this. You
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Because this community, without undermining it, it is small.
It
Like,
is.
I'm
It's,
sorry.
it's a few hundred people. That's it.
Yeah, but it is worth, because it doesn't matter the number you have, it matters how those numbers feel.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
so it's like it doesn't matter, one person could build an entire empire by himself.
Yep.
And if
Now the question
again,
is that person going to be you, Tax?
oh my god, well,
Yeah.
I
Pressure's
mean,
on,
i
right?
would i would I wouldn't put any promises on my name, but
Credence.
I wouldn't put any promises on my name, because things are always in their things are always, they're not guaranteed. That's what I'm trying to say. Things are
Right.
not guaranteed, so whatever could happen. But
But Tax, keep in mind that this interview could be part of the Among Us documentary. Your words could be on Netflix.
dude, I've always wanted a ranked Among Us.
Are we going to be able to take a clip and a soundbite of you like promising the revival, and then the beautiful cut to like a montage of the player base growing?
That would be awesome.
And then there's Tax the streamer, and it's like his origin story, and we flash back to the Among Us documentary. Like your filmography has you
That'd
in
be
this
content.
little low
Yeah.
budget yeah, indie Among Us documentary, and then you're actually like this goated streamer. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I remember that Bricknick guy.
Oh no, dude. I feel like during that proposal, I feel like it can only go so far. Yeah.
Yeah, of
It,
course.
it's more about what one person can do.
Definitely. If one person
Yeah.
can change the world, man, and that person could be you.
Yeah, even though I don't want to because I don't like to gas things up that don't exist. So it's like, yeah, because that's just making
You
fake
mean
promises.
don't exist yet?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's no, I just don't like to
Remember how you
make.
didn't expect to inspire anyone, but then that
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
The same thing's gonna happen here, man. Your expectations might not exist, and then you're gonna achieve it anyway.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it is.
You have the potential.
Yeah, yeah. That's something I'm vouching for. I really hope that is true.
Absolutely. Like, I see the core skills, I see the level-headed reasoning, I see the passion, the motivation, your content creation, your casting ability, your connection to the community, your judgment of character. Like, all these things are going to serve you so well. Now it's just really about like, where are you going to spend your time? What are you going to invest in?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a journey, but you know, um, to each their own, I guess. So some people are gonna be like, because I know how some people would react. Like they hear that, and they're gonna be like, "This guy ain't doing shit." To
There's
which,
always going to be naysayers and doom and gloom type of individuals, and
yeah,
that's part of it. You wouldn't have a character development story if you didn't have some haters, right? Like
yeah,
there has to
it
be
is.
some antagonists in here.
Yeah. I mean, that is part of what makes the duality of someone.
So
Burn.
there's
Oh
a
my God,
question from
burn.
chat about who won the Among Us tournament last weekend. I don't know that you actually want the answer. I can give the answer trivially, but if you go back and watch the videos, you can experience it as if you don't know the answer, which is more fun than having it spoiled. If you want to know the answer, just go to the last video in the series and look at the results. That is the way to do it. Don't ask
Is
me to
that
spoil it on the stream.
is that the Nutter's burn, dude? Oh my god.
I wonder if it is. Not sure. I
I
mean, like, to
remember.
ask that question could go either way. It could be someone who cares about Ranked Among Us, or it could just be a different burn.
Yeah, I remember the burn and bread era on Nutters.
Bread. That's right. I remember that guy.
He was an interesting guy. Yeah, a few
Yeah.
things up his sleeve, but whatever. We won't talk about that. It was but
I
yeah.
love
I
it.
remember I used to play with him all the time because I wanted to play like him.
That's
Bread,
amazing. It's like, how
bread.
does he do it? You know?
Yeah, he had this profile picture of this guy eating a baguette. I remember
Yeah.
entirely, dude.
Man, I mean,
It,
like he would be in the meetings, and then by some mysterious coincidence, he could suss out the.
I don't know, dude. He was just goaded. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right,
It's
right, right.
I don't know.
Incredible times. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, if there's a few people right now in the community who would be able to point these things out.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure Star is one of them. I'm not
Starlight.
sure.
Shout out to Starlight. I've had so many like good things to say about her lately. Um, we're thinking about doing like a staff lobby for the 5-up games, and I think Starlight should be a shoe-in for that. Like, good at the
Yeah,
game, good at life, good moderator, like good person, helps others. Also the biggest sponsor of the tournament. So again, shout out for Starlight. And yes, she does still play hybrid. To answer your question.
yeah. Um. Well, yeah. That kind of. I don't know what else to say. I feel like
Yeah.
that's
Do you want to
that's
be
good.
Facebook friends, Tax?
Wait. What?
Yeah, Starlight's my Facebook friend.
I don't have Facebook.
You don't have Facebook. That's
No,
okay.
sir.
That's okay. To each their own, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, I hope we keep in touch. Like,
Oh yeah.
irrespective of what
We
happens
will.
with Ranked Among Us, I think you're a good guy, and I'd love to sort of like follow along and see how the journalism of the upcoming streamer taxation can be documented.
Yeah. Before anything else is said, I forgot a few people that I would like to mention as well.
Oh, tell me, yeah.
If you let me. One of them is Cap from MMR. Other one is Honey.
Honey
Almost
Nut?
forgot about Honey.
Cap is
Yes.
Cap I haven't seen around, but Honey Nut was in a lobby just this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy. Everyone's just coming back.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else?
Well, if you think of more people, like, I'm happy to shout them out. Just like join the Twitch chat sometime, and I'll
Oh,
shout them out.
Kira
Kira,
from AUC. I
Among Us
remember.
competitive.
Yes.
Now that was an interesting Discord server.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how I
Yes.
got into the whole scene. Actually, did you also
Oh.
find it through Reddit? I think we talked about this.
I found AUC through Reddit. Yes,
Yeah,
but it was after I joined Nutters.
yeah. And this was
Oh.
before me. It was before Nutters, and that was like my origin story because a lot of people think of me as a Nutters guy, but I actually joined through AUC, finding it through Reddit, and then like after playing a few games in there, someone in there was like, "Hey, you seem like you're trying to be even more sweaty. Like, go play Nutters," and it was more sweaty. It was amazing. I loved it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, AUC. I remember. I forgot the other kid's name, but
Shout out
Kira.
from Monster Tax Baby or BBY.
Sub Monster. Monster's also yeah, Monster.
Monster is an
Monster.
OG, and I remember like I played a game with Monster just pretty recently, and they're like, dude, if you get imp with Monster, that imp win is locked. Do I
Okay.
remember Among Us ranked hybrid? I do remember Among Us ranked. Good
I
times,
remember
man.
Bonfire. I don't know where you
Bonfire, I remember. Yep.
are.
Good times.
There you are.
And
Yeah.
Polaris. Yep.
Also Spooky.
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 Yes.
Spooky.
Spooky's still around, by the way.
Yeah, I know he is, but he has his issues with the purple server, right?
Oh, does he? Yeah.
Or is he like
I guess we'll see
allowed?
what happens. There's a few people who are trying to get unbanned. So I don't know if Mikey is listening to this, but go have a chat with Slime. Slime and Mikey need to hash some things out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Krabs is
guess.
banned? No way. Oh,
Yeah,
crabs. I'm not sure what the story is behind crabs, or like, how about tunes? I'm not sure where tunes
tunes.
is. Do you remember
Yeah,
tunes?
I don't know, dude. I mean, yeah, so many people like
Or
tunes.
air? Do you remember air?
Air. Yeah, I
Right.
remember Air as well.
There's some fun names like coming back. Yep, yep.
It's, uh, yeah, dude. I never thought it's when you remember those people, you instantly unlock so many
Yeah,
memories
there's
of
all this like memories that come flooding back.
and like that just like determines your answer, right? It could be like, oh yeah, or it could be like, oh,
Right. It's like how do you remember them, right? Like what and actually this brings me to one of my favorite questions to ask anyone. Tax, how do you want to be remembered?
ah. Well, as you could probably tell, my intent with the community is not done.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right, but when
that's for
people
sure.
like mention your name 5 years from now, when they're playing, you know, some VR, full on haptics immersion, like Ready Player One style or whatever, and then they go on stream in there and they're like, "Does anyone remember that tax guy? Yeah, he was once a big streamer or something. Yeah, but dude,
You know,
the best thing about tax was," and then they say what?
Bricknick, I always, ever since I was a kid, I always had this thing where people would ask me like, "Oh, what do you do your career and what shit?" And I'll be like, "I don't really care what I do.
Uh huh.
I just want to be somebody."
Okay, yeah, you just want to be recognized.
And not for the sake of being famous, because that is trash. Like not being able to like walk outside without being bothered
Sure,
by multiple people.
it's
Like that
not
is,
fun being harassed in public,
yeah.
but you
What I'm
want to
trying.
have done something that people care about.
Yes, yes. It's like not being somebody. Well, I want to be somebody to people.
Yeah.
I want
Well,
to.
this comes back to being an inspiration. Like you can see why
Yeah.
that was so important to you because you've really made an
Yes.
impact on someone's life.
And I always. This also goes for IRL. Every time somebody comes with a problem, I always try to like make them understand the
Yeah.
problem so they can solve it themselves. Because then,
Yeah.
for me, it is so much better to let them with the knowledge of how to do so that they don't have to talk to me about it again and they can do it themselves than
Tax
having
man,
to
you
re-
should be a teacher. I can hear
no,
this in your blood. A
no,
coach, a mentor, a tutor. You need to
no.
find a way to help others because you have that people-oriented attitude.
No, no, I don't want to be a teacher, dude.
You don't
That
have to
is
be a school teacher because the same advice was given to me, and the very first reaction I had to that was, I don't want to live in poverty, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, that is a very important factor, I'd say.
so the solution for me was eventually people management, which is what I do at
Okay.
work. You know, I work at Facebook or Meta, and I'm a people manager, and it's
Oh,
beautiful. You know, I have a team that I support, and my whole role is to help others. It's the same thing with being a husband. My whole role is to help my wife. Same with being a father. My whole role is to help my family.
yeah. I would, I would argue that again back to like being remembered with that whole thing of like being somebody and like for example how you do it is how you do it is a big example, I'd say, because you have your roles in your life that you know that you are there for the role,
Hmm.
and the moment you're out, they need to find somebody who compares to you, and the whole point is to make that difficult. Yeah, because like not because you want it to be difficult, but because because of the things you've done
I see. You
by
want to be like irreplaceable,
wholeheartedly.
in a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like because of the things you've done full-heartedly is so hard to replace.
So
Yeah,
you want to have big shoes to fill, is what you're getting at.
I guess, and more of the fact I don't want to be famous. I want to be influential.
Yes, I get that. Right? Like you want to be someone that is so important that the world will be saddened when you're gone.
Yeah, I mean, it probably whenever people talk about their dreams when they're not even started, they sound dumb.
I don't think they're dumb.
They do.
I don't think
No, but
it's I don't
no,
think it's
but
good to shit on someone's dreams. I think that
I know,
yeah,
but they sound
it's
far-fetched.
fanciful,
And
of course, because it's so distant and it's idealized. It's based
yes,
in fantasy. And for some people that's uncomfortable.
yeah,
But I'm very
um,
comfortable with embracing that for what it is. It is a fantasy and that's okay.
yeah. But I guess that's more of the fact. like during my whole time with any community that I would like to step foot in and actually be a figure in is to like I want that. People just be like, oh, this guy, yeah, he helped me
Yeah.
do this. He helped me do that, and that's exactly what I want people to say.
So now
I
that
don't want
we've
anything else.
established this, I do have some really relevant chat comments to pull up. Um, Hybrid mentions that you could be a coach for Among Us. And
Um,
Monster reinforces this by saying you actually already were a coach in MMR.
I was,
Can you
yes.
elaborate on that a bit?
Well, it was the moment when Odini took on the MMR point on because he was like SK, we need different things. And Odini actually reached out to me because he was like, dude, I need your help with this. We started talking about coaching and whatnot. And we were all like trying to like figure out how we would do this, like trying to figure out a system. We never actually got to the bottom line of it, you know, because it's hard
Yeah,
to set up things that abstractly, but whatever.
it's
The
tough.
point is, um, I wouldn't be. I was a coach and I helped people at times. Yes, I don't know if anyone could say, "Oh yeah, Tex pointed this out that helped my gameplay tremendously." I think Aspect said that to me once.
That's great. I mean,
Yeah,
all it takes is to have influenced one person and it was all worthwhile.
yeah, I remember. Those were times where I didn't really know. I mean, like I knew what I wanted to do, I just didn't know how to.
Yeah.
Up until I formulated an idea, presented it to SK. He was down to do it with Polaris, but then he kind of disappeared. So it was
I love
that was
this. I love that you've done it. I love that you've touched aspects like life in that way. And I love that people want you to do more of it. And I would love to be part of that journey with you, Tax. Like, would you like to be coaches together?
you know about Among Us. There's a few things I feel. I don't know. This is giving the fact that the Pink Man's theory is wrong, because I feel that there are very different ways to play the game, and there's not a true one. You
There
know?
is no perfect way to play this game. It is a
Yeah.
social deduction game. Just look at the way Raka plays. Some people look at that and
Yes.
they're just confused, but it's actually innovative. It is
Yeah.
different, and for some people that's scary, or they view it as throwing or weird or different or whatever. But it's just such an unexplored territory. Is the whole idea of playing it as more on the deduction side and less on the mechanical side. And like we haven't even scratched the surface there. Like, what if we change the rules? No more medbay. Suddenly, all the mechanical players will be screaming like the game's impossible.
Yeah.
But what about
It,
if you listen to people's tone of voice? You can play this game totally different, guys. Like,
yes.
it is
Yes.
not
It's
a mechanical game of medbay scanning. This is a social deduction game. You can do more. Like,
yeah.
it is possible to stretch the boundaries of what's possible in Among Us.
That is something that like I would touch on with the better players in MMR when they were like, "Yo, you have to get coached by Tax." I'd be like, you know, dude, like, oh, you didn't do nothing wrong mechanically here. It's just in the meeting you have to listen to this, try to listen to patterns."
Yeah.
I also remember I taught Spooky this one thing
Mhm.
that it was if you thought somebody was imposter, you say their path thing like in the wrong order, and
Mhm.
then pretend to be clearing them if they agree they're imp.
Yes,
I,
because they
I,
will agree with lies instead of correcting you,
yeah,
because they are
and
desperate to get away with a lie.
yeah. I told that to Spooky, and that was
That's
one of
beautiful. Like, what a tactic. No one uses that now. And they
the,
could. There's so many cool things like that that we're not even trying because medbay clears are so powerful that doing anything else is kind of suboptimal in the meeting. But if you take away some of these mechanical gifts that we have, you know, what will be like innovated in that space? Like, necessity is the mother of invention, and right now we don't have the necessity. If we start dialing up the imp favored things like 0.25 crew vision, you know, and if we start reducing meeting time, removing queuing, like all these sorts of things are going to start making people pretty uncomfortable because they got used to a crew win meta. What happens when you are forced to start playing differently? Are you going to grow and evolve, or are you going to get left behind?
Yeah, that is pretty much what it is. It's like, and also I see that because now that I've joined the waffle thing, it's I've been joining other sectors
Yeah,
of Among Us, and it's they say that the way Purple Among Us plays, it's so weird. I remember this message. I don't know if I can find it. It was like Purple Among Us plays on point 0.5. They have mimic clears, have stacking. Yikes!
Yeah,
And I'm like, yikes! What? What do you mean, yikes?
right.
And it was, uh, and while while people are like always trying to like be a coach in Among Us, the thing is, I feel as if in like if you're coaching Among Us, you will just to make more people that play like you.
Yeah, I
That is
mean
my issue.
that's one route to coaching. A different type of coaching that you can give is connecting people with who they want to become like. That way you're not influencing them too much with your own style, right? Like
Yeah.
one way that you mentioned earlier of helping people find answers is just asking the right questions and helping them get to the answers themselves. That way you're not forcing your own sort of style on them. You're just helping them think it through. So for
Yeah, that
example,
is.
like I don't know, like say Hybrid wants to know more about like how to flip light switches quickly or something like that. You don't give him your strat, which is like go buy this specific gaming mouse. So here's exactly what to do or whatever. But you can ask him like, what's holding you back? You know, what's slowing you down? Or like, who inspires you? Who is the rapid fire mouse clicker that you want to be like? And then you go do an intro to, I don't know, Burn Source. Maybe he's the guy that Hybrid wants to be like, and then you facilitate that conversation and you set it up, and then suddenly you've helped this person grow because they weren't even trying to grow. They were just like jumping into game after game and not realizing why they're not improving. Whereas you've given them a chance to really like do some introspection, to be that sounding board, to help them like ask themselves the right questions to arrive at the answers that they need to be hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel I feel like that's another way to put it. It's just rough, but some people some people are just they are.
The one thing I will say about all this coaching thing is that the student has to want to grow, has to want
Yeah.
to change. Because if you've got
Yes,
a
yes, yes.
resistant student, it's game over.
Yeah, no, like you cannot make someone progress if they just don't want to.
Exactly. Yeah. It has to be someone who's receptive and has a growth mindset. If they have a fixed mindset and say coaching is useless or something like that, you're not going to make any progress.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I feel. Um,
Okay,
what's
Tax.
up?
Well, we're at an hour and a half. I think this is a good time for me to like dedicate some time to playing the game of Among Us, as opposed to just
Yeah,
talking about it. I've really, really enjoyed our conversation. Tax, I'm
yeah, same.
incredibly grateful that you are part of the community, and I really can't wait to see what you can achieve. Um, any final closing thoughts from you?
Well, okay. I guess it's gonna be a bit of a short monologue. I guess
Mm-hmm.
it is more of the fact I wanted to say again, thank you. Not only to you, but to other people in the community. Doesn't matter what you think of me. Doesn't matter how you treated me. Doesn't matter. The result of this interview is all that happened. It is a consequence of everything that the rank community had done for me and what I had done for the community as well. Um, I'm not done. I guess I will try to do some moves and try to like come up with something for the community as like my desperate attempt at something. If I can make it, then that's my gift for you. If I can't, then I don't. I don't think. I don't think people would say anything wrong about it. You know.
Absolutely.
Uh. So all the people that I mentioned, I hope you guys, again, X Ruler, K Aspect, Abdu, Star, Ox, Sword, Saitama, Nessa that I mentioned, Homework Spoon, all of these people that I mentioned throughout the interview. You guys are great people. It doesn't matter how life ends up treating you after this, or where you guys come to par. Anyone, also for you, Bricknick. It's I believe that you guys will just make it out fine out there because I know you people and I know you guys are. I know who you somewhat are. So to me, that's all I gotta say. I trust in the community to do what's right, and I hope they trust me. And that's it.
That was beautiful, Tax. Thank you so much for joining us today. Final thing, a request for chat or for tax, who should we raid?
Oh. If I was playing Bow, hell no. Let's see, where is
Yeah,
like
we'll try to find an Among Us streamer. I think we should spread some love to other people who are supporting this game.
let me see. I don't know, do I have to say like where is this? I don't know. They're all just like
Gouda's streaming.
Table?
I think this is happening.
It's really
man.
easy.
The
Who
Gouda.
is?
Tick.
The Gouda.
Oh,
Different
okay,
apps and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. This is
Alright, yeah,
Defiant.
sure.
Defiant is gonna get raided. This
I'm
is a
fine with
ranked
that.
Among Us community member, so like, unless you have a higher priority, I think Gouda is gonna
No.
get some love.
No. If I would Defiant, yeah.
The Gouda. Shout out to Gouda, we're gonna raid his channel. He's playing Jackbox, and if you've never played Jackbox, very fun party game. Totally recommend playing it sometime, and happy to play with viewers sometime. You know, I've got a Discord, you can check it out in my Twitch stream profile.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, sure. I'll check that out.
Totally, man. Thanks to the
Oh.
chat today, it was fun. Hopefully I see you in some games.
Yeah, I'll see you soon, Rick.
Take care.
Same.
Yeah, I'm confused now. I'm drawing more.
Yeah, you
It's just
draw
a
a second design.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Still seeing my old one though. Oh, I have to click check. One though. Oh, I have to click check. Wait. Oh.
Wait, what did you
Am
do?
What am I doing? Do I add on
I'm
my
so-
old one?
I don't know what to draw. I don't
Did
know
it
what.
give you a clean slate when you loaded in?
Yeah.
The hell?
I don't know.
I
I
just saw my
don't.
old drawing and then I clicked submit and now it says waiting for other players to finish. I
Oh,
only did
same.
one.
Yeah, same. Nobody knows why
I'm
though.
so sorry, everybody.
Why
I'm
the
so sorry, everybody. No, I won't do this. I won't. A suggestion is this: it just says the